Hey besties, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara Savage. Guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this beautiful dress. It's a lace sheer maxi dress. I don't know if you guys have seen inspirations online on Pinterest. Guys, it's actually beautiful because you can wear it as an overlay, as an underlay, as anything. It is that versatile. So guys, I'm going to show you guys how to make this particular dress. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, share within and outside your circle. I have so many amazing things on this channel and more to come. So guys, join the family and let's get started with this amazing tutorial. Now guys, what you need is a fabric, a stretchy lace fabric. So that's what I have right here, and I have folded it into four. So I first folded it into two and then into four. So that's why you can see it's just like this. I'm going to be working from this side right here, the side where it's open. I'm going to be putting my measurements on that side, and this other side is going to be folded because I'm cutting out the front and the back together. So can you guys see the full length of the dress? This is what I'm using. I'm using the entire length of the particular fabric that I'm using. So guys, for the width of this measurement as well, you're going to use your hip circumference plus 4 inches. Hip circumference plus 4 inches, you're going to measure it, and then you're going to fold it into two and then into two again to be able to achieve what I have right here on my own fabric. So fold it into two, then into two, which makes it into four, and then that's what you're going to have. Now for the width of this four is going to be that measurement divided by 4 inches. Basically, that's what we're going to use on the hip side down to the hem. Now guys, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure from the shoulder to the bust measurement. So measure your shoulder to bust. In my case, that's 10 inches. Then from the bust to my waist measurement, so my shoulder to waist measurement is 16 inches, and I'm going to measure it right there. And then from my waist measurement, I'm going to measure down to my hip measurement, which is about 7 inches, and I'm going to measure it right there and mark it down. I know you told your friend you're not okay. Then I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to measure my neckline basically, which is 3 inches by 3 inches that I'm using for the front and the back. So measure 3 inches by 3 inches, and then I'm going to create my neckline curve. Then I'm now going to measure my shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I'm going to measure it right there. Also, I'm going to go down from that point by 1 inch to create my shoulder slope, and then I'm going to connect it using a slant. Now that that measurement is done, I'm going to measure my armhole. And for this kind of dress, I always use the formula of my bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. In my case, it gives me 7 inches, and I'm going to measure that 7 inches from the shoulder slope. From the slope, guys, not from the top, from the slope. I'm going to measure that 7 inches. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile. And then on this line right here, this is going to be my chest line. I'm going to now measure my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Guys, bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch. That 1 inch is going to be ease of half an inch and half an inch for my sewing allowance. So I'm now going to connect it using my armhole curve, just like this. So the way we always create our armhole curve, I'm going to create it just like that. And then I'm going to go to the bust line. So the main bust line that I measured, I'm going to now measure this exact measurement that I measured on the chest line on that line exactly. And I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to mark it. And then I'm going to go to my waist measurement. And I'm going to measure my waist circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Mark it right there and connect from the bust line to this point. It's going to be like a curved line basically. So can you guys see what I'm doing? So this is what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to go to my hip measurement. Now this hip, I don't need to measure anything from there because it's exactly the measurements that I measured from the beginning. Remember, it was my hip circumference plus 4 inches I did. And now that's exactly what is here. So divided by 4 is what is exactly here. So I'm just going to connect directly from the waist measurement down to this hip measurement. And from that hip measurement, I'm going straight down to the end. The same measurement I'm using on the hip is what I'm using till I get to the bottom of my dress. Now, guys, I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to cut out my neckline, my armhole line, and then the body, the shape of the dress basically till I get to the end of the dress. Now, guys, I'm using a long sleeve for this, and to do that, I have put a pattern paper right here under this dress, under the armhole side of this dress. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trace it out. So trace out that measurement. Make sure the shoulder point is on the straight point of this particular pattern paper, and then measure it out. Now you would notice I went further about half an inch from this measurement right here, from this curve. That's because that's going to be my seam allowance for that side. So guys, you're going to make sure the measurements you have on your pattern paper is your shoulder to your wrist measurement. So that's what I have right here. And then what I'm going to do first is I'm going to measure my shoulder to my bicep. So from that point right there, I'm going to measure to my bicep, and then my wrist will be the end of the pattern paper basically. So I'm going to just label it, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure around my bicep. So round your bicep, you're going to measure it right there and divide that measurement by 2. Now that I've measured mine, it gave me 10 inches. That's what I want to use basically. So 10 inches divided by 2 is 5 inches, plus half of an inch, which will be my seam allowance. That's 5.5 inches. And then I'm going to go to the wrist side. I'm using 8 inches in my case because I want to be able to wear it very well. So I'm going to measure 8 inches divided by 2. And then I'm going to add half an inch to it, which makes it 4.5 inches. So 8 divided by 2 gives me 4 inches, plus half an inch is 4.5 inches. And now I'm going to just place it right there and mark it. Now I'm going to connect all these points together. So using my curved ruler, I'm going to connect from this point down to the bicep, and then using my ruler, I'm going to connect from the bicep down to the wrist.
Fake a smile until I look away.
And then after that, I'm going to put a seam allowance of half an inch at the top right there. So can you guys see what I'm doing? I'm going to connect it to that seam allowance right there as well. And then I'm going to cut out this pattern piece, and my sleeve piece is already ready. Now when you're cutting it on your fabric, you're cutting your fabric on a fold, and that straight part is going to be on the folded side of your fabric. So if I have more fabric remaining, I'm going to show you guys how to add a bell sleeve to this particular measurement. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead to cut out my fabric, my sleeve basically, and then I'll show you guys what next to do. So guys, you're now going to take your fabric, your dress piece basically, and you're going to place it together just like this. If there's a right side on your fabric, you're going to place it right sides facing each other, and then you're going to sew it along the shoulders, along the sides. So from the end of the armhole, you're going to sew it down to the hem. So you're using half of an inch, the seam allowance that we left. I'm not weaving this dress basically, I'm just sewing it just like this. Then for the sleeve as well, you're going to fold it right sides facing each other, and then you're going to sew it along that open edge, except the part that you're going to put with your dress basically. So sew it down to the wrist, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Guys, I have sewn the dress. This is what it's looking like. So you can decide to wear it now and see if you're going to add if you're going to sew it basically inwards if it's too big. So in my case, I just want to like reduce it by half an inch. I noticed it's a bit big on my body, so I'm going to change it to I'm going to reduce it by half an inch basically. And yeah, this is what it looks like. This is my sleeve, one of my sleeves basically. Can you guys see what it looks like? I have sewn it along the edge of the sleeve as well. This is the second sleeve right here, and now it's time to join it to my dress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to the right side.
As you fade away.
And then I'm going to put it inside like this. So you're going to just place it inside.
As you fade away.
So this is going to be turned to the wrong side. So you're placing this right side so that it is facing the right side of your dress, basically. Then you're going to align it together. Make sure it's aligned properly.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday.
And then you're going to sew it all around the armhole. So you're going to sew the sleeve with the armhole just like this, all around, all around. And then once you're done, we're going to be practically almost done with this dress. So that's what you guys should do. Sew it all around, and then I'll come back to show you guys what next to do, basically. So do this for this sleeve and repeat the same process with this particular sleeve, and then you're going to be almost ready with your dress. So I'm going to do that and show you guys what next to do. So guys, when you sew it, you sew your sleeve to the dress, your dress is practically ready, like it is done. That's all I have for this particular tutorial. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. With this, you can wear it over your outfit, you can wear it under your outfit, you can style it in so many ways. That's how versatile this particular dress is, and I love it so much. I love it so much that I had to make it in white. Guys, this is beautiful, it is amazing, it is versatile. You guys know me, I'm a sustainable fashion person, and this channel is all about eco-friendly sustainable fashion. And yeah, I just love every single part of this dress, and I hope you guys love it as well, as much as I love it, basically. And guys, if you try it out, please don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Lara Savage Creations. I would love to showcase your work with all my growing followers, and even here on YouTube. Join as a member, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share within and outside your circle. And until my next video, do have yourself a wonderful morning, noon, or night wherever you are. It's still your favorite content creator and fashion entrepreneur, Lara Savage, signing out.